The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
My name is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. First name Omar, Oscar Mary Alpha Romeo. Middle name Mohsen Ibrahim. Mary Oscar Halo Sam Echo Nora. Ibrahim India Bravo Romeo Alpha Halo India Mary. And my last name is Fuad Foxtrot Oscar Uniform Alpha Delta. There's a situation involving police brutality in South Florida, specifically reoccurring violations of 1-8 United States Code, Statute 1513, and reoccurring violations of Statute 766.110. The 1-8 USC SS 1513 violation is the retaliation against a victim, witness, or informant statute, and the Statute 766.110 is the healthcare liability statute. These violations have been reoccurring since January 27th, 2015, when my son Caleb Isaiah Clark was killed at Northwest Medical Center and Hospital in Margate, Florida. My son's mother, she's in the military. And then it continued to happen on August 7th, 2018, because of the injuries caused by Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511 from the City of Miami Police Department. Specifically, Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, put me in a chokehold, and then he twisted my neck to the right on purpose, attempting to break my neck. And then he picked me up and he body slammed me onto the concrete on my left side. And then he arrested me and he put me in the back of his police vehicle. He did that because I told on him. Specifically, I told his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, pushed me. And I told him that he did that in front of him. And once I told his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, badge number 2364, that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, pushed me before he arrived, specifically before his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, badge number 2364, arrived. Officer Ronnie Rodriguez snuck up behind me. He put me in a chokehold, and then he twisted my neck to the right. Then he picked me up and he body slammed me onto the concrete, onto my left side. Then he arrested me and he put me in the back of his police vehicle. And he did that in front of his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, badge number 2364. And then PRI Officer Leslie Diaz from the City of Miami Police Department arrived, and he immediately confronted Officer Ronnie Rodriguez. This was approximately 9:45 that night on August 7, 2018. And at approximately 9:45 p.m. on August 7, 2018, PRI Officer Leslie Diaz arrived to the crime scene, and he immediately confronted Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511. And he said, "Why did you beat him up?" And then Officer Ronnie Rodriguez ended up yelling at Leslie Diaz and said, "Man, let's just take this kid somewhere and beat the SHIT out of him some more." PRI Officer Leslie Diaz then told him to take me to the Jackson Memorial Hospital. And PRI officer, police responding to the incident, Officer Leslie Diaz, was in a separate police vehicle. and he traveled behind the vehicle that I was in, which was the police vehicle that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez was in. And they proceeded to transport me to the Jackson Memorial Hospital. Once I arrived to the Jackson Memorial Hospital, PRI Officer Leslie Diaz waited outside while Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, brought me into the inside of the Jackson Memorial Hospital, and then he took the handcuffs off of me, and then he left. Once I was inside the Jackson Memorial Hospital, I called 911 from the hospital phone, and I told them what happened, specifically Officer Ronnie Rodriguez attempting to murder me because I told on him. And then they sent the internal affairs to Jackson Memorial Hospital the second time I called 911, which was the next day. And the internal affairs arrived to the Jackson Memorial Hospital and took pictures of the fresh wounds on my body that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez caused. But they didn't take pictures of the fresh wounds on my knees. But they were able to take pictures of the fresh wounds on my ribs from when Officer Ronnie Rodriguez's duty belt stabbed into my left side. And the internal affairs detective's name is Eric Rodriguez from the City of Miami Internal Affairs Police Department. The same last name as Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, the officer who attempted to murder me because I told on him for officially misconducting himself while in a position of authority. And then we had a court hearing at the Jackson Memorial Hospital with the Honorable Judge Alvin Balint Jr. and Prosecutor Lourdes. And there was two public defenders there that were defending me, Julianne D. Maria and Hugh Keoth. And there were also two doctors that were there, Dr. McLeod and Dr. Rios. And there were several people wearing long white coats that were standing around us. And they had a audio recorder in the middle of the table. The judge, the Honorable Judge Alvin Balint Jr., he said, "This court, however, empathetically rejects Dr. McLeod's latter statement because not only is it based on him seeing and treating the patient for just one day, it was an uncontested fact at this hearing that the respondent was beaten by the police. The doctor himself even saw signs of bruising." This was from it says, in the Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit in and for Miami-Dade County, Florida, Probate Division. And then it says my name, Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fouad. And it says case number 2018-4772, M as in Mary, H as in Halo, 02, Division 5. And this was on August 7th, 2018. And the Honorable Judge Alvin Balint Jr. signed it. And there's also a signature from the Honorable Judge George E. Cueto, first name George, Jorge, middle initial E, last name Cueto, Circuit Court Judge. This particular situation, as well as police brutality on March 27, 2019, in the city of Miami. And
thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To mark your message as urgent, press 6. To mark your message as your message is now marked as urgent. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To remove the urgent note, this message is urgent.
My name is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. First name Omar, Oscar Mary Alpha Romeo. Middle name Mohsen Ibrahim. Mary Oscar Halo Sam Echo Nora. Ibrahim India Bravo Romeo Alpha Halo India Mary. And my last name is Fuad Foxtrot Oscar Uniform Alpha Delta. There's a situation involving police brutality in South Florida, specifically recurring violations of 1-8 United States Code, Statute 1513, and recurring violations of Statute 766.110, the 1-8 USC SS 1513 violation is the retaliation against a victim witness or informant statute, and the statute 766.110 is the healthcare liability statute. These violations have been reoccurring since January 27th, 2015, when my son Caleb Isaiah Clark was killed at Northwest Medical Center and Hospital in Margate, Florida. My son's mother, she's in the military. And then it continued to happen on August 7th, 2018, because of the injuries caused by Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511 from the City of Miami Police Department. Specifically, Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, put me in a chokehold, and then he twisted my neck to the right on purpose, attempting to break my neck. And then he picked me up and he body slammed me onto the concrete on my left side. Then he arrested me and he put me in the back of his police vehicle. He did that because I told on him. Specifically, I told his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, pushed me. And I told him that he did that in front of him. And once I told his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, badge number 2364, that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, pushed me before he arrived, specifically before his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, badge number 2364, arrived. Officer Ronnie Rodriguez snuck up behind me. He put me in a chokehold, and then he twisted my neck to the right. And he picked me up and he body slammed me onto the concrete onto my left side. Then he arrested me and he put me in the back of his police vehicle. And he did that in front of his supervisor, Sergeant Edwin Gomez, as number 2364. And then PLI Officer Leslie Diaz from the City of Miami Police Department arrived, and he immediately confronted Officer Ronnie Rodriguez. This is approximately 9:45 that night on August 7, 2018. At approximately 9:45 p.m. on August 7, 2018, PLI Officer Leslie Diaz arrived to the crime scene and he immediately confronted Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511. And he said, "Why why did you beat him up? And then Officer Ronnie Rodriguez ended up yelling at Leslie Diaz and said, man, let's just take this kid somewhere and beat the SHIT out of him some more. PRI Officer Leslie Diaz then told him to take me to the Jackson Memorial Hospital. And PRI officer, police responding to the incident, Officer Leslie Diaz, was in a separate police vehicle, and he traveled behind the vehicle that I was in, which was the police vehicle that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez was in. And they proceeded to transport me to the Jackson Memorial Hospital. Once I arrived to the Jackson Memorial Hospital, PRI Officer Leslie Diaz waited outside while Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, brought me into the inside of the Jackson Memorial Hospital, and then he took the handcuffs off of me, and then he left. Once I was inside the Jackson Memorial Hospital, I called 911 from the hospital phone, and I told them what happened. Specifically, Officer Ronnie Rodriguez attempted to murder me because I told on him. And then they sent the internal affairs to Jackson Memorial Hospital the second time I called 911, which was the next day. The internal affairs arrived to the Jackson Memorial Hospital and took pictures of the fresh wounds on my body that Officer Ronnie Rodriguez caused. But they didn't take pictures of the fresh wounds on my knees. But they were able to take pictures of the fresh wounds on my ribs from when Officer Ronnie Rodriguez's duty belt stabbed into my left side. And the internal affairs detective's name is Eric Rodriguez in the City of Miami Internal Affairs Police Department. The same last name as Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511. The officer who attempted to murder me, as I told on him, officially misconducting himself while in a position of authority. And then we had a court hearing at the Jackson Memorial Hospital with the Honorable Judge Alvin Valente Jr. and Prosecutor Lourdes. And there was two public defenders there that were defending me, Julianne D. Maria and Hugh Keoch. There were also two doctors that were there, Dr. McLeod and Dr. Rios. And there were several people wearing long white coats that were standing around us. They had a audio recorder in the middle of the table. The judge, the Honorable Judge Alvin Valente Jr., he said, this court, however, empathetically rejects Dr. McLeod's latter statement because not only is it based on him seeing and treating the patient for just one day, it was an uncontested fact at this hearing that the respondent was beaten by the police. The doctor himself even saw signs of bruising. This is in the Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit in and for Miami-Dade County, Florida, Probate Division. And then it says my name, Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fouad. And it says case number 2018-4772, M as in Mary, H as in Halo, 02, Division 5. And this was on August 7th, 2018. 2018. And the Honorable Judge Alvin Valenti Jr. signed it. And there's also a signature from the Honorable Judge George E. Cueto, first name George, Jorge, middle initial E, last name Cueto, Circuit Court Judge. This particular situation, as well as police brutality on March 27, 2019, in the city of Miami.
To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To remove the urgent notification, press 6. To mark your message as confidential, press 7. To cancel recording and access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. This key to send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message, your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
This is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fouad. The previous voicemail that I left on phone number 404-612-8591 ended at when I was explaining the police brutality that happened on March 27th, 2019 in the city of Miami. That case is involved with a case against JP Morgan Chase Bank because of an Uber scam that I caught JP Morgan Chase Bank involved with. JP Morgan Chase Bank hired Homer, Bonner, and Jacobs law firm at the Four Seasons Hotel in downtown Miami, Florida, on the 14th floor. The case involving JP Morgan Chase Bank was a federal case in front of the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore in federal court. And the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore specifically directed me to sign the settlement documentation that me and JP Morgan Chase Bank and Homer, Bonner, and Jacobs law firm agreed upon to settle out of court with. The Homer, Bonner, and Jacobs law firm then overnight rush delivered the settlement documentation with the overnight rush delivery option at FedEx delivery services in Miami, Florida. I signed the settlement documentation and I contacted the law firm Homer, Bonner, and Jacobs, and I spoke with Brian, the attorney on the case, Brian Leckage. There was another attorney on the case named attorney Jose Ortiz. He was the lead attorney in the case. Brian Leckage specifically scheduled an appointment after I signed the settlement documentation, and that particular appointment that he scheduled was the appointment that he said he was specifically going to call me at that specific day and time, because he sent me the settlement documentations, and there was a conversation that is required after I signed the settlement documentations. And he didn't call me on that day, nor at that time that he specifically agreed with me upon. So I called them, and they didn't answer the phone either. So I didn't know what else to do other than to go to the law firm directly with the settlement documentation that they overnight rush delivered me to sign. Specifically documentation pertaining to the lawsuit settlement that we both agreed upon to settle outside of court with. And when I went to the Homer, Bonner & Jacobs law firm at the Four Seasons Hotel, I spoke with the receptionist, and I believe someone other than the receptionist that works there. She was in the area where they have the offices in the back behind the receptionist. A approximately middle-aged, possibly a little younger, Latin woman. And she was a light-skinned Latin woman, medium build. She said that she tried to call the attorneys and they didn't answer the phone. And she said she was going to try to get in contact with them again. So I was waiting for them in the lobby. They told me to just sit down in the lobby. And as I was waiting, they were taking a little long. I asked if I could use the restroom. They provided me with the code to enter the restroom, which was in the same on the same floor as the Homer, Bonner & Jacobs law firm. I used the restroom. I washed my hands. I exited the restroom. I sat back down. And then the receptionist told me that they're not answering the phone and to just schedule another appointment. So I scheduled another appointment. And then they called the police on me, and they told the police that I was trespassing. And that's a lie. As I was literally waiting on the elevator to open so I could go 14 floors down to the ground level of the Four Seasons Hotel, 2 police officers from the City of Miami Police Department entered the 14th floor, and the Homer, Bonner & Jacobs law firm and the security for the Four Seasons Hotel told the police that I was trespassing. And that's not true. I was there. I scheduled an appointment. I even used the bathroom. They provided me with a code to enter the bathroom. And also, I had a legally binding contract between me and the Homer, Bonner & Jacobs law firm. So I was there well within my rights. I was there on business. I'm sure there's other professional words that are professional words to describe the legal matter that I had the right to be there for. And I was not trespassing, and nor did I go there to trespass, and it was not my intention to be trespassing or anything like that. And specifically, one of the police officers that arrived was one of the police officers that was dispatched to the the store that I was managing. I was managing the night shift at a grocery store in Model City, Miami, Florida. And there were several people in that area who were trying to rob the store, stealing from the store, selling illegal narcotics outside of the store, and engaging in all different types of criminal activity literally outside of the store. And there were several people who, would be scared to go to the store because the criminal activity that was going on outside of the store. So as I was always trained to do was to file a trespassing citation against those people. I was trained specifically after working for several years for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week at convenience stores and grocery stores and gas stations in South Florida. And I was trained by Amjad Hamed. He owned several convenience stores in South Florida. One of those convenience stores, I was able to do my community service hours at. And also while I was employed there. And my probation officer would always go to the store to check on me to make sure I was at work and things of that nature. And I was on probation from the Broward Sheriff's Office, a municipality of city and state government that my father, Mohsen Fuad, retired from after 30 years of service. So the situation involving the March 27, 2019 police brutality case is also involved in a scam conducted by JP Morgan Chase Bank and Uber. And the officers jumped me, caused several injuries to my body.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. Your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. This key is not valid. Please try again. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. Welcome to your voice messaging system. Please enter your passcode, then press the pound key. If you are not calling from your own phone, please press the star key. This passcode is not valid. Please enter your passcode, followed by the pound key. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
This is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. The second recording that I just finished on phone number 404-612-8591 ended, and I was explaining to you the police brutality case from March 27th, 2019 that is involved with a scam conducted by JP Morgan Chase Bank and Uber. And on March 27, 2019, the police officers, Officer Bryant Brogdon and Officer Brown from the City of Miami Police Department. They jumped on me and they caused several bruises to my body. And they arrested me for trespassing without they charged me with trespassing and resisting arrest without violence to their person. And they put me on probation for that. And I was there at the Four Seasons Hotel with a legally binding contract between me and the Homer Bonner and Jacobs law firm that's on the 14th floor, as I stated previously, because of a Uber scam involved with JP Morgan Chase Bank, and JP Morgan Chase Bank hired Homer Bonner and Jacobs law firm to settle with me out of court. And that is what the legally binding contract said, that they FedExed overnight rush delivered to me. And the case was in front of the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore in federal court, and he specifically directed me to sign the settlement documentation. Now, as I was leaving the Four Seasons Hotel, while I was explaining the situation to Officer Bryant Brogdon and Officer Brown, one of the officers that I was familiar with, because she was dispatched to a robbery call at the convenience store, Grab a Snack Market in Model City, Miami, Florida, a store that I was managing the night shift at and working 12 hours a day to sometimes 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, and had to write several trespassing citations against several criminals in that area, specifically more than 5 different trespassing citations. I asked the officers what their names and badge numbers were before I entered the parking garage to retrieve my bicycle. I had a beach cruiser bicycle that was hanging on the wall next to the other bicycles inside the parking garage of the Four Seasons Hotel. The officers Bryant Brogdon and Officer Brown from the City of Miami Police Department, they jumped on me, they injured me, they caused several bruises to my body, and they arrested me and charged me with trespassing and resisting arrest without violence to their person. I was put on probation in the City of Miami at the Court Options Department that has probation services there in the City of Miami. Officer Bryant Brogdon's badge number is 00695, and Officer Brown's badge number is 01997. Bryant is spelled Bravo, Romeo, Yellow, Alpha, Nora, Tango. Bravo, Romeo, Oscar, Golf, Delta, Oscar, Nora. And Brown is spelled Brown, regular spelling. I specifically asked them for their names and badge numbers so I could properly report the situation to the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore And so he could be aware of the fact that the officers that were dispatched to Homer Bonner and Jacobs law firm, the law firm that J.P. Morgan Chase Bank hired, the same defendant that is in a case involving myself, Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fouad versus J.P. Morgan Chase Bank in federal court in front of the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore. I specifically asked him for their names and badge numbers so I could provide that to the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore and be able to properly explain to him what happened and the fact that they lied and falsified a report to the City of Miami Police Department and told them that I was trespassing. And also to inform the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore that the Homer Bonner and Jacobs law firm lied specifically. And once I asked him for their names and badge numbers, Officer Bryant Brogdon, badge number 00695, and Officer Brown, badge number 01997, jumped on me, injured me, caused several injuries and bruises to my body, and they put me in handcuffs, arrested me, and they took me to the City of Miami Police Department and charged me with trespassing and resisting arrest without violence to their person. And then I continued to do my best to try to obtain monetary relief from the first police brutality case. And I did everything I possibly could. I reported it to just about every participating agency I could find to help me, only because I was being harassed a lot. Every place that I was only able to find to live was literally either an uninhabitable rental property, or there was people there who were purposely trying to make it difficult for me to obtain monetary relief. There were people who were purposely doing things to make me sick. There were people who were harassing me, unethically hacking my phone, electronically harassing me, following me, jumping out of the bushes and chasing after me. I was hit by a car while I was en route to the Internal Affairs to provide information about the police report and the falsified reports to the police about both the first police brutality case on August 7, 2018 in the city of Miami, Florida, and the March 27, 2019 police brutality case in the city of Miami, Florida. I was literally on the phone with Detective Alfonso from the City of Miami Internal Affairs Office when a silver Toyota Camry, an older model looking one, a 4-door silver sedan, and a Haitian man was driving the vehicle. I was literally on the phone with Detective Alfonso when that individual, the elderly Haitian man, hit me with his car while I was on my bike. He ran the stop sign and he ran into me while I was on my bike. I'm going to have to continue this report on the next voicemail on phone number 404-612.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message, your message has been sent. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
This is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. The time now is 6:07 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. I was reporting this situation, and the recording ended when I was explaining to you about the second police brutality case on March 27, 2019. Specifically, after the March 27, 2019 police brutality case, the coronavirus pandemic happened, and it made it more difficult than it already was to continue to report the police brutality cases and file the necessary documentation at the Miami-Dade County Courthouse. And it was already difficult before the coronavirus pandemic happened and the courthouses shut down, because people were harassing me at the places that I was only able to find to live on Craigslist. And people were unethically hacking my phone, electronically harassing me and following me. And it was becoming almost nearly impossible to be able to continue to go to the courthouse. And also, I was scared a lot of the time because of the amount of harassment that people were harassing me with, and the level of harassment. They were aware during, before, and after documents that I was documenting on my phone to present to the judges at the Miami-Dade County Courthouse and the federal courthouse. And people were harassing me literally during, before, and after I was documenting the evidence, and they were doing things to harass me and purposely try to scare me in accordance with the evidence I was documenting. And they were doing that to purposely scare me and try to make me give up, because I was documenting specific things, and the way they were harassing me, they were purposely doing things to identify that they were harassing me because I specifically documented that specific evidence in my phone. And they were just trying to scare me, and they were trying to exhaust me of all my resources, and they were purposely trying to drain me of all my energy, and they were purposely just trying to use desperate defenses to make me give up on suing them and reporting them, because they were aware that I have clear and convincing evidence proving my complaint far beyond a reasonable doubt. And they're aware that that is all a victim, witness, plaintiff, indigent, complainant it needs in any court in the United States of America to be able to obtain monetary relief. And they knew that I didn't have much resources, nor did I have much money. And they were aware that, my resources to find a place to live was www.craigslist.com. And I didn't have much money at all. I was on Social Security, disability income, and I only had approximately $700 a month that I could spend on rent. And I was literally struggling just to be able to have enough food to eat every day, let alone the energy that I needed. And they knew I didn't have preventative care. They knew I didn't have quality health insurance or quality preventative care and all those necessary living necessities that obviously my opposing counsel has, being that they're a entity, municipality, or city and state government. Therefore, my opposing counsels are government employees, and they obviously have much more resources than an indigent, pro se, self-represented litigant and victim of police brutality, and one of which the police brutality are attempted murder by Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511 from the City of Miami Police Department on August 7, 2018. And then I had to move from South Florida for my safety, from Miami, Florida for my safety, and I moved to Broward County, Florida. I figured I'd be safer there, being that my father, Mohsen Fouad, retired from the Broward Sheriff's Office after 30 years of service. The situation got worse when I moved to Broward County. I was harassed even more, and I went to the hospital. I went to Florida Medical Center for help, and I explained to them the situation, and they sent me to a house. It was like a medical type of house where they had several people living there that were sent there from the hospital. And they were purposely doing things to make me sick. They were purposely making it difficult for me to obtain monetary relief. They were purposely making it difficult for me to continue to go to the courthouse and document exhibits of evidence and report the exhibits of evidence. They were doing the same thing that they were doing to me when I was at the places I was only able to find to live in Miami, Florida. After the first and second police brutality case on August 7, 2018 and March 27, 2019. They were unethically hacking my phone also. They were electronically harassing me also. At the 3101 Southwest 12th Place, Davie, Florida location that the Florida Medical Center sent me to, specifically Dr. Duyan from the Florida Medical Center. And then I ended up having to get surgery because I contracted Streptococcus group A from that uninhabitable rental property that Florida Medical Center sent me to. And I was at the Plantation General Hospital in Davie, Florida. They've since then changed the name of Plantation General Hospital after I reported the situation. Plantation General Hospital sent me to another uninhabitable rental property, 2350 Northwest 11th Street in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's approximately 200 yards from Amjad Hamed's grocery store that I used to work at when I was much younger. I used to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week there. I also was able to do my community service hours there while I was on probation. And my probation officer would always check up on me while I was at work to make sure I was at work. But that particular location, 2350 Northwest 11th Street, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, that was another uninhabitable rental property. It was like a medical house similar to the 3101 Southwest 12th Place, Davie, Florida location that Florida Medical Center sent me to. And they were doing the same thing at the 2350 Northwest 11th Street location. They were harassing me and making it difficult for me to continue to go to court. They were doing things that make me sick. They were unethically harassing me all the time.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. Your message has been sent. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
The time now is 6:17 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. My name is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. This is the fifth voicemail that I have left today. The first one was at 5:21 p.m. for a duration of approximately 11 minutes. The second voicemail on this same phone number, 404-612-8591, was at 5:44 p.m. for a duration of 11 minutes. The third voicemail that I left today on this same phone number was at 5:56 p.m. for a duration of 10 minutes. The fourth voicemail that I left today on this same phone number, 404-612-8591, was at 6:06 p.m. for a duration of 10 minutes. And this is the fifth voicemail that I'm leaving today on the same phone number, 404-612-8591. I'm continuing where I left off on the fourth voicemail, specifically about the uninhabitable rental properties that Florida Medical Center sent me to and Plantation General Hospital sent me to. After I went to the hospital and asked them for help after running away from Miami, Florida, because of the attempted murder caused by Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, that caused injuries to my neck, my back, and my lower extremities. And the 2350 location, the 2350 Northwest 11th Street location in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, was harassing me the same way as the 3101 Southwest 12th Place location in Davie, Florida. The people that were at the 3101 Southwest 12th Place location that Florida Medical Center sent me to were harassing me the same exact way as the people at the 2350 Northwest 11th Street location in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, were harassing me. And the 2350 Northwest 11th Street location in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I was sent there by Plantation General Hospital after contracting Streptococcus group A from the 3101 Southwest 12th Place location. Both of those locations were uninhabitable rental properties. And then I went to the Broward Health Medical Center because I was feeling sick. And also my left arm went numb when I was at the AT&T store. The one specifically located in front of the Audi dealership, the Audi car dealership in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And when I went to the AT&T store specifically to obtain a phone with more memory on it so I could document all of the exhibits of evidence. And when I was there, my left arm went numb, and I also wasn't feeling well before I got there. But my left arm went numb while I was there at the store, and I had to call 911, and they transported me to the Broward Health Medical Center from the AT&T store. And once I was at the AT&T store, I explained the situation in its entirety as I'm explaining it to you now. and on the previous voicemails that I left, the 4 previous voicemails that I left before this 5th one. And it was a doctor named Dr. Chisholm who was at the Broward Health Medical Center, and he asked me if I would like to speak with a psychiatrist. And I agreed to speak to a psychiatrist at the Broward Health Medical Center, and that was it. He then brought me inside of a double-doored area, and once I was in that area, they illegally intravenously injected me with, from what I found out after, was either Ativan or Haldol, a medications that I'm allergic to, and they immediately give me anaphylaxis, just like the medication Safris gave me an immediate allergic reaction and an immediate anaphylaxis when I was at the Broward Health Medical Center with my father, Mohsen Fouad. They asked me to take some medication called Safris. It was a dissolvable tablet that is supposed to be put on the tongue. And they asked for me to show them that it dissolved on my tongue before I left out of that building with my father, Mohsen Fouad. So I said, okay, I mean, why not? They said it would help me not be stressed. So I took the medication, and then from there I went to the courthouse where I had a court hearing, and my father was driving me there. And literally, as soon as I got into my father's vehicle, after the Safris dissolvable tablet dissolved on my tongue swelled up. My speech immediately became slurred. I started feeling very dizzy and heavy, and I started feeling very sick, and I couldn't even hold my body up. I just felt like I was about to faint the entire time and for several hours, and I couldn't pronounce my words clearly. And literally, I was having to hold on to the walls of the courthouse while we were walking down the hallways. And we ended up having to leave the courthouse before even going to the necessary specific place in the courthouse that we were supposed to be going to. And it was really bad. I had an immediate allergic reaction. It's called anaphylaxis. And the injections that they gave me at the Broward Health Medical Center, specifically Nurse Vicky, it immediately gave me an anaphylaxis. And the specific police officer that was dispatched to the Broward Health Medical Center after I told Nurse Vicky that I'm allergic to the medication that she was attempting to inject me with. They dispatched Fort Lauderdale police officer. They dispatched a Fort Lauderdale police officer, and also approximately 5 security guards from the Broward Health Medical Center. And specifically the Fort Lauderdale police officer named Officer Montiacos. He tricked me. He said that he just needs to arrest me so he can get my information and write my information down on a notepad. And I said, okay, fine. So then he asked me, he said, what's your first name? And I told him my first name, and then I told him my middle name, Mohsen Ibrahim. And as I was telling him my name, I told him my father, Mohsen Fouad, retired from the Broward Sheriff's Office after 30 years of service. And once I told him that, he said, I don't give a fuck who your father is. And then he He slammed me down on the chair, and then 5 of the hospital security guards at the Broward Health Medical Center jumped on me, and Nurse Vicky, she came running out of the cubicle or the booth that she was in, and she injected me in my arm with it was either Haldol or Ativan, the medication that gave me an immediate anaphylaxis, and then it made me pass out. And when I woke up, I was having difficulty breathing. My nose was stuffed up. I was feeling dizzy and sick. And they brought me upstairs in the Broward Health Medical Center, and they told me I had coronavirus.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press... Your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
After
The voice messaging service has not detected a message. Please start recording your message after the tone.
the Fort Lauderdale police officer, Officer Montiacos, badge number 2029 from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, specifically Officer Montiacos, Maniatakos, badge number 2029 from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. When he slammed me on the chair and the 5 hospital security guards jumped on me, and then Nurse Vicky came running out of the booth that she was in and immediately stuck the needle into my arm that had either the Haldol or the Ativan medication that I'm allergic to. She injected me, and then they brought me in a room where they laid me down on a bed, and I passed out. And then when I woke up, my nose was stuffed up. I was having difficulty breathing. My throat was clogged up. I was feeling dizzy and sick. And they brought me upstairs in the Broward Health Medical Center, and they told me I had coronavirus. And they kept me at the hospital for about a month, and they gave me a coronavirus COVID-19 test, and they said I tested positive for COVID-19 coronavirus, and then they gave me another test approximately a week later, and they told me that I tested negative for COVID-19 coronavirus. And then the people that were working there at the hospital, they identified themselves as either nurses or doctors or staff members there at the hospital. They were purposely doing things to make me sick also. They were giving me food that smelled like mold. They were dropping things on the floor and then attempting to give them to me as, something that they wanted me to ingest. Specifically, they were dropping medications on the floor and things like that. And then also one of the people that identified themselves as a medical person, possibly a nurse, they were giving me a coronavirus test with the swab, the nose swab, and he grabbed the back of my head and he rammed the nose swab up my nose, and it made my nose bleed. And the nurse the female nurse that was in the room with that male nurse who rammed the coronavirus swab up my nose and made my nose bleed. She told him to be careful after he did that, acknowledging that he wasn't being careful. And then that same individual who rammed the coronavirus swab up my nose and made my nose bleed, he was doing homosexual things to me while I was there. He was rubbing his fingers above my penis area while I was laying on the bed in the hospital gown. And I reported him again for that to the supervisor at the hospital, the director, one of the directors of the hospital, named Mina Amini. First name Mina, Mary India Nora Alpha. Last name Amini, Alpha Mary India Nora Alpha. And then they also tried to inject me again with medications. And I told them, I'm allergic to those medications that they're giving me. And they didn't care. And they injected me anyways, and they kept trying to intimidate me with the security guards and the nurse who was giving me the injection. And I felt hopeless. I felt like, they were going to do whatever they wanted to me, regardless of whether I refused their medical care or not. I mean, I was reporting everything that was happening in real time, and I was documenting it on social media while it was happening. And I was in fear for my life. I mean, I honestly thought I was going to die and or be sexually assaulted again. And they then gave me a coronavirus test again and told me I was positive for coronavirus again after they did those things that I mentioned. And then they gave me another coronavirus test and it said it was negative. And then they gave me another coronavirus test and it said it was positive. And during that entire month that I was there, while I was getting those negative and positive coronavirus tests, they were purposely doing things to make me feel more sick. And I was reporting them. And I honestly felt like I was going to die. And reporting the situation was the only hope or chance I had to stay alive. And they were doing a lot of those things intentionally, and they were purposely making it aware that they were retaliating against me because I was complaining about them in real time. And I survived, though. I didn't die from the coronavirus. And once I was released from the hospital, I did my best again to report the situation to the Miami-Dade County Courthouse, to the Broward County Courthouse judges. And it was literally the same exact situation that happened in Miami and when I moved to Broward, about them harassing me every time I would try to report what they were doing to me to the courthouses and the judges there, so I could obtain monetary relief and hopefully fully recover, or get as close as I possibly could to fully recovering and help my family. I have 2 children, a 16-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter, and I have a family who depends on me, just like I depended on them. And it's the situation has turned into a nightmare for me and my family. I've had to report this situation to my family over and over because I couldn't find anybody to help me. And it's ruined the quality of me and my family's life. It's made my mother cry several times. It's saddened my family. It's costed them money. It's ruined business opportunities for them. It's caused so many problems to my family that every time I even just try to look at the docket, for example, from previous complaints that I filed, and just to try to organize them, for example, it makes me feel very tired. It makes me feel very tired, and it makes me feel like something is literally taking over my body and preventing me from being able to gather all of my documentation in order. Like specifically, for example, was it 2 days ago, I was on the Miami-Dade County Courthouse website, and I was searching for all of the cases that I reported that are on the docket to specifically obtain the case information from the docket of a case that went into default when I was reporting the City of Miami Police Department police brutality case and the connected cases to the Honorable Judge Marvel Ruiz. And I literally started feeling like I was going to faint. And I felt, my body felt very weak. And it was as if something was controlling my body and preventing me from being able to continue documenting information from complaints that I filed at the Miami-Dade County Courthouse. I'm gonna have to continue this report on the next recording.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message, your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this message, the party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
This is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. The time now is 6:39 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. This is the 7th voicemail on phone number 404-612-8591 that I have left today on Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. The previous voicemail left off at when I was reporting the fact that I was searching for cases of complaints that I filed on the Miami-Dade County Courthouse, and I started feeling tired and weak, as if something was controlling my body and preventing me from continuing to document complaints and information from complaints that I filed that are on the docket at Miami-Dade County Courthouse after the first and second police brutality case that happened on August 7, 2018 and March 27, 2019 by the City of Miami Police Department. And as I was mentioning, this situation involving the reoccurring violations of 18 United States Code, Statute 1513, and the reoccurring violations of Statute 766.110 has ruined the quality of me and my family's life. The fourth police brutality case happened in Broward County by the Broward Sheriff's Office on November 23rd, 2021. And the third police brutality case that happened by the Fort Lauderdale Police Department's Officer Manya Tacos. Specifically, Officer Manya Tacos, badge number, I have to look it up again. Hold on. But that specific officer in that police brutality case that happened on April 5th, 2021. And that was by Officer Manya Tacos from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department at the Broward Health Medical Center. And the fourth police brutality case happened in Broward County by the Broward Sheriff's Office on November 23rd, 2021. And that specific police brutality case was an almost identical situation as the previous cases, involving the only place I was able to find to live on Craigslist, and there were people already there who were harassing me and making it difficult for me to continue to go to court, to obtain monetary relief, and to document evidence. And I was also being harassed the same exact way. There was an individual with the last name of Williams, similar to Mr. Jeffrey Williams, who has an ongoing trial in the state of Georgia. The specific individual, Williams, in Broward County, Florida, he was also harassing me. He was pointing guns at me. He was stealing cars from the neighborhood that I was living in and bringing back the stolen cars to my house where I was renting a room. And he was also stealing cars from the neighborhood that was across the street at the Cross Keys community. And him and another individual, as well as the individual Williams in Broward County, Florida, his friends, they were harassing me and following me around. And there were several occasions where I would be going to the grocery store to obtain groceries, and they would be hiding around the corner and waiting for me to walk past them with my groceries just so they could harass me and intimidate me and make me feel like they were going to jump me. And I reported them several times, especially a situation involving Aaron Morris, a sexual predator who was a friend of Williams in Broward County, Florida, who was harassing me, pointing guns at me, stealing cars, and bringing stolen cars back to the house. And the specific individual, Aaron Morris, he's a known blood gang member, and he had people following me when I was going to Walmart on a specific occasion where I had to call the police. And he literally called them on the phone again once I returned from Walmart after the blood gang members chased me into Walmart and threatened to kill me. And when I returned back to the house, he was calling blood gang members again, telling them that I returned to the house. And then also I had to call 911 because the individual Williams in Broward County, Florida, kept returning to my house while I was sleeping and everybody was sleeping in the house. At approximately 2, 3, 4 in the morning, he would be walking past my window, and I called the police on him. The police told me that if I see him again, to immediately call the police so they could trespass him. And I did just that. And specifically, the K-9 unit at the Broward Sheriff's Office specifically directed me to call 911 if I saw him on my property again. Now, the landlord of that property, who I was renting from, she also told me that that individual, Williams, in Broward County, Florida, is not allowed at that property. And she was aware that he was stealing cars and pointing guns at me and bringing stolen cars back to the house. And I notified the police as well as the landlord, and the landlord thanked me for notifying the police. And I informed the police also that the landlord said that the individual Williams in Broward County, Florida, is not welcome at the house. Now, I saw the individual Williams and Aaron Morris again hiding on the side of Publix when I was returning back from Walmart, and they were waiting for me to walk past them just so they could intimidate me again, which is a normal thing that they did when I was living there. So I called 911. I told 911 exactly what the K-9 unit at the Broward Sheriff's Office directed me to do. And they sent 911, they sent the police officers to Publix. And when the police officers arrived, I specifically told them exactly, once again, what the K-9 officers directed me to do, which was obtain a trespassing citation against Williams in Broward County, Florida. Specifically, so if Williams goes back to that property where I'm renting, he will go to jail because he has been trespassed. I'm going to have to continue reporting this on the next voicemail. The time now is 6:49 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message, your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
The time now is 6:50 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. This is the 8th voicemail that I have left today on phone number 404-612-8591. The previous voicemail ended at 6:49 p.m. And as I stated, I would have to continue to report this situation on the next voicemail because the voicemail recording ended. Now, when I was reporting to the Broward Sheriff's Office what the K-9 unit directed me to do in front of Publix, when I saw the individual Williams in Broward County, Florida, again, specifically the individual Williams who was pointing guns at me and stealing cars and bringing these stolen cars back to the house that I was renting in Broward County, Florida. the officers ended up jumping on me and injuring me. And this was on November 23rd, 2021. And one of the officers purposely broke my finger. And then the officer tried to lie about breaking my finger. And all this is on camera. And the officers then brought me to University Hospital in Tamarack, Florida, which is approximately 1 mile from the house that I was renting in North Lauderdale, Florida, at the 8376 North Coral Circle location in North Lauderdale, Florida. The officers, it was 5 different officers. One of the officers' name is also Williams, Nashan Williams, Nashan Williams. And the officer who purposely broke my finger, his name is Officer Maqsood, Maqsood. When the 5 officers brought me to the Broward Health Medical Center after purposely jumping on me and injuring me, the officers told the nurses and doctors that were at the emergency room desk that's on the inside of the hospital, where patients are brought to when they're transported in an ambulance. And they apologized to the nurses and doctors for what they did, because they weren't supposed to injure me. They weren't supposed to jump on me, nor were they supposed to arrest me, because I asked them for a trespassing citation, specifically something that the K-9 unit at the Broward Sheriff's Office directed me to obtain. The next time I saw that individual Williams, who was stealing cars and pointing guns at me, the nurses and doctors there at the University Hospital in Tamarack, Florida, now they've changed the name. It's called Woodmont Hospital in Tamarack, Florida. HCA Woodmont Hospital, Healthcare Administration, HCA Woodmont Hospital in Tamarack, Florida. The nurses and doctors there, they're familiar with who I am because I went there a lot, especially after my son Caleb Isaiah Clark was killed at the HCA Northwest Medical Center Hospital in Margate, Florida, on January 27th, 2015, at approximately 8:35 p.m. The nurses and doctors at that particular hospital, the University Hospital, now known as HCA Woodmont Hospital, they're all aware of who I am. Like I said, because I went there so many times, and I used to live in a house directly behind that hospital. And I was always going to the hospital because of the difficulties that I was experiencing after my son died. And also the difficulties I was experiencing once I moved to Broward County from Miami-Dade County, and the situation involving the first and second police brutality case on August 7th, 2018 and March 27th, 2019. And the situation in its entirety has become a high-profile case, and I've reported these cases to just about every single participating agency that I could find who is identifiable as a entity, municipality of city and state government, or an identifiable source that is identified as a source to be able to help victims like myself in these types of situations. I've reported this to the White House, to the FBI, to the CIA, to several participating agencies. And I reported this to the White House during the Donald J. Trump administration. I've reported this to the White House during the Joseph Robinette Biden administration. The first detective on the City of Miami police brutality case on August 7, 2018, his name was Detective Kane Dolce. He had a company named Dolce Enterprises, and he sent a shirt with his company logo to the previous president, Barack Hussein Obama, and his wife, the previous First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama. He sent them a shirt with his company logo that said Dolce Enterprises on it. It has a picture of a globe, the world rather, from space, with his the name of his company, Dolce Enterprises, on it. And the former President Barack Hussein Obama and the former First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama, they took a picture holding up the shirt with Detective Kane Dolce's company logo, Dolce Enterprises, on it. I consider that to be a gesture of, them acknowledging the case and them reassuring me that they're going to help me. I have not been properly paid at all ever since that particular acknowledgement of the former President Barack Obama and the former First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama, holding up the shirt with Detective Kane Dolce's company logo on it, specifically Detective Kane Dolce from the Internal Affairs at the City of Miami Police Department. My first point of contact, other than the receptionist, Lorraine, who was at the Internal Affairs in the City of Miami when I reported the first police brutality case on August 7, 2018. And I've noticed that ever since I've reported these cases and reported the severity of these cases, news reports about the Trump administration and the Biden administration and Mr. Jeffrey Williams have been broadcasted as things.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen, your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press... The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
This is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. The time now is 7:01 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. This is the ninth voicemail that I have left today on phone number 404-612-8591. The previous voicemail left off at where I was reporting the fact that after I have reported all of these cases in detail and the severity of these cases, I started noticing that there was reports being broadcasted on the news and on mainstream television and social media platforms, news sources on social media platforms as well, identifying that the Trump administration is being investigated, the Biden administration is being investigated, and several participating agencies are being investigated. The FBI is being investigated, and Mr. Jeffrey Williams is being investigated. And all of those specific reports were in accordance with reports that I reported. I've also noticed that the music industry and the entertainment industry has acknowledged a lot of the reports that I have made, and that is because I have reported these cases to just about every participating agency that I could possibly find. And I have reported these situations because of the fact that I have not been able to obtain monetary relief. And at this point, it's either I'm able to obtain monetary relief so I could fully recover, or I'm never going to be able to fully recover. And that is a problem for me and my family, because just like I've depended on my family depends on me. And injuries caused by government employees stopping me from being able to help my family is a problem for me and my family. Not only is the injuries caused by the government employees and the reoccurring violations of 18 United States Code 1513 and the reoccurring violations of Statute 766.110, specifically the reoccurring violations of 18 USC Statute 1513, the retaliation against a victim, witness, or informant statute, and the reoccurring violations of Statute 766.110, the healthcare liability statute. Those reoccurring violations and similar violations of U.S. codes and statutes are all attempts of murder on me and my family, because my family, just like I've depended on them, my family depends on me. And reoccurring violations involving retaliation against a victim, witness, or informant that have caused injuries to my upper and lower extremities, injuries that I'm still suffering from, on Tuesday, April 16, 2024 at 7:06 p.m. is a very serious problem. I'm literally just holding the phone and reporting this situation to you, and both my left and my right hand is numb, and my left arm is completely numb, and my neck and my back is hurting. Also, I have noticed that when I'm listening and observing the trials in court that are being broadcasted live on YouTube. And sometimes the Supreme Court cameras in court videos. When I'm observing these videos, there will be several times where I would say things out loud that pertain to the same cases that I have reported that are all relatively connected because of the fact that they're high-profile cases and that these cases have also been acknowledged by the entertainment industry, the music industry, and me myself being an artist as well as a student who's trying his best to obtain his law degree and his medical degree, because I have not been able to find a lawyer to help me, and I have experienced a lot of difficulties every time I have went to the hospital and or went to see a doctor because of the injuries caused by Officer Ronnie Rodriguez, badge number 42511, on the police brutality case that happened on August 7, 2018 in the city of Miami, Florida, as well as Officers Bryant Brogdon and Officer Brown from the city of Miami Police Department on March 27, 2019, and Officer Maniatakos from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department on April 5th, 2021, and the 5 different police officers from the Broward Sheriff's Office on November 23rd, 2021, all of which have caused injuries to my all of those officers have caused injuries to my upper and lower extremities, and they have made injuries from the previous police brutality cases worse. And as I stated, my neck is injured, my back is injured, my hands and arms keep going numb, my knees are injured, and my feet go numb. The neurologist, Dr. Winston Ortiz, here in Tallahassee, Florida, at the Department of Neurology in the Azalea building, he told me I have nerve entrapment, and that was after he did an EMG test where they stuck several needles in my neck and in my arms to determine if my nerves are damaged. And he told me I have nerve entrapment. And as I stated, my hands and arms keep going numb. My back is always hurting. And the reason why my hands and arms keep going numb is because of my neck injuries. The nerves in my hands and my arms are connected to my neck, and that is why my hands and arms keep going numb, because my neck is injured. And that was caused by Officer Ronnie Rodriguez from the City of Miami Police Department on August 7th, 2018. Officer Ronnie Rodriguez's badge number is 42511. As I was mentioning, I've noticed when I'd be listening to the cameras in court on the Supreme Court website and the YouTube channel for Law and Crimes and Fox 5 for the Mr. Jeffrey Williams trial, that they would be hearing me when I would be saying things.
Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. Your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
This is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. The time now is 7:12 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. This is the 10th voicemail that I have left today on phone number 404-612-8591. I left off at where I was reporting that when observing the videos of cameras in court on the Supreme Court website, and when I'm observing the videos that are live on YouTube about the trial involving Mr. Jeffrey Williams on the YouTube channel Law and Crime Trials, on the YouTube channel Fox 5 News, on the YouTube channel 11 News. When I be observing the trial live, and I would make comments, specifically when something was mentioned that is relatively connected to the reports that I made, I would immediately be able to identify that the comments that were made after I commented would be comments that were intentionally made by people at the hearing involving Mr. Jeffrey Williams. The comments that would be made after I would make a comment while observing the videos of the trial that was being conducted live on YouTube on several channels, as I stated, the comments that would be made, they would be immediately identifiable, and they would be identified as a comment that was being made to immediately allow me to identify that they hear me. They hear me, and they are understanding clearly and convincingly what I'm commenting and what I have reported. And there was numerous times where the Honorable Judge Ural Glanville, the Honorable Judge Ural Glanville, Ural, last name Glanville, Glanville. There were several times where he mentioned if anybody talks to you about the case, to immediately notify him. So that is what I'm doing right now. The time now is 7:15 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. I'm not surprised of that because those similar forms of hacking have happened several times. Unfortunately, they've unethically hacked my phone. This particular case that I'm reporting to the Honorable Judge Ural Glanville, it was done in an ethical hacking manner. Or at the least, I will accept it as an ethical hacking manner. because I genuinely need help. And I need to help my family. And I need to fully recover from the injuries caused by the government employees in South Florida that I've reported, specifically the police officers. And I need to be able to obtain monetary relief to be able to fully recover, or at the least get as close as I possibly could to fully recovering. And it's imperative that I do that so I could help my family. I have 2 young daughters. My oldest daughter is 16 years old. Her name is Anijah Jade Anderson Fued. My youngest daughter, she is 2 years old. Her name is Jamila Penasino Fued. And as I stated, I'm trying my best to obtain my law degree and my medical degree. And that is because when I was my oldest daughter's age, I didn't have anybody to help me who had a law degree and or a medical degree. I was always dependent upon somebody who had a law degree and or a medical degree to help me. And from personal experience and growing up in high traffic tourist areas like South Florida, for example, where there's a lot of jealousy, it is very important to have a law degree and a medical degree. And because of the fact that I wasn't able to find a lawyer to help me and or a doctor to genuinely help me after government employees injured me, and my opposing counsels being entire councils of city and state government, and me being a self-represented pro se litigant who had to file his complaints through indigency status because I couldn't find a lawyer to help me and or a doctor to genuinely help me. I know how important it is to obtain my law degree and my medical degree so I could help my family, my daughters, and my family. My mother, my father, my stepbrothers, my stepsisters, my stepmother, my stepfather, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, and our peers. It is equivalent to necessary living necessities to have a law degree and a medical degree at this point. And that is because of everything that I have reported to you being clear and convincingly true. I have reported these cases over 100 times to the White House, the FBI, the CIA, and participating agencies. And it is a 3rd-degree felony to make a false report to the law and or their equivalence or stature. And if I was lying, I would have been imprisoned for this a long time ago. But I have not been imprisoned for lying about a government employee injuring me. And as I stated, it is a 3rd-degree felony to make a false report to the law and or their equivalence or stature. And I have reported this situation over 100 times. Therefore, that would be equivalent to the electric chair. The time now is 7:21 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. My victim ID number is 945157. And my victim ID number, 945157, was issued to me by prosecutor Miss Colon, Colon, at the State Attorney's Office, phone number 863-534-4020.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message and record a new one, press 1. Your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu. The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
My name is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fued. The time now is 7:23 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. This is the 11th voicemail that I have left today on phone number 404-612-8591. The previous voicemail left off where I was reporting my victim ID number. My victim ID number is 945157. The information of the agency that issued me my victim ID number is 863-534-4020. Once again, their phone number is 863-534-4020. Their email address is S as in Sam, A as in Alpha, O as in Oscar, V as in Victor, S as in Sam, at S as in Sam, A as in Alpha, O as in Oscar, 10.com. The prosecutor's name who issued me my victim ID number is Prosecutor Miss Colon. Colon is spelled C as in Charlie, O as in Oscar, L as in Lima, O as in Oscar, N as in Nora. The prosecutor's assistant is Miss Melissa Porter. The state attorney is Mr. Brian Haas of the 10th Judicial Circuit. The state attorney is Mr. Brian Haas, first name Brian, Bravo, Romeo, India, Alpha, Nora, last name Haas, Halo, Alpha, Sam, of the 10th Judicial Circuit. My full name is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fued. My first name, Oscar Mary Alpha Romeo Mohsen. My middle name, Mary Oscar Halo Sam Echo Nora. Ibrahim, my middle name. India Bravo Romeo Alpha Halo India Mary. Fued, my last name. Foxtrot Oscar Uniform Alpha Delta. My phone number is 772-534-4020. 772-538-8586. Once again, my phone number is 772-538-8586. My email address is duediligencecorporate@gmail.com. Do is spelled D as in Delta, U as in uniform, E as in echo, diligence, regular spelling, D as in Delta, I as in India, L as in Lima, I as in India, G as in Golf, E as in Echo, N as in Nora, C as in Charlie, E as in Echo, corporate, regular spelling, CORPORATE @gmail.com. Once again, my email address is duediligencecorporate@gmail.com. And my attorney, who is helping me with my November 23rd, 2021 police brutality case, his name is Attorney Gary Printy. First name Gary, Golf, Alpha, Romeo, Yellow. Last name Printy, Peter, Romeo, India, Nora, Tango, Yellow. Attorney Gary Printy. Once again, if you need any more information from me, feel free to call me, not my attorneys. My phone number again is 772-538-8586. And my email address is duediligencecorporate@gmail.com. The time now is 7:29 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. And I specifically am requesting for you to contact me if you need any more information and not my attorney, because I do not want my attorney to get scared. I have contacted almost every single attorney to help me on Google search, and they have all given me an excuse about why they can't help me. A lot of them have tried to use the excuse of the statute of limitations expiring. And when I explained to them that I need their help to refile the case, and if my opposing counsel tries to use the technicality of the statute of limitations expiring to get the case dismissed, then we would have to mention the equitable tolling remedy. The equitable tolling remedy eliminates the statute of limitations for cases specifically like mine, for example, where I have injuries caused by government employees, and the injuries have gotten worse, and I have not been able to finish filing documentation that I need to file because of the fact that my injuries have gotten worse, and the fact that I am a victim. I have not committed any crimes, and I was falsely imprisoned several times, and the reoccurring violations of 18 United States Code Statute 1513 and the reoccurring Statute 766.110 being used in a deceitful, desperate defense to trick me into thinking that they were helping me, but they weren't. They were trying to make me give up on suing them and reporting them. And they were purposely trying to make me give up on obtaining monetary relief, because my opposing counsels, who are the government employees responsible for causing the injuries to my upper and lower extremities in South Florida, are all aware in real time, during, before, and after I documented evidence on my electronic devices. They were all aware in real time that I have clear and convincing evidence proving all of my complaints beyond a reasonable doubt and far beyond a reasonable doubt. And that is all I need to obtain monetary relief in any court in the United States of America. And there was no way possible that they could justify that. The time now is 7:33 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. Your message has reached its maximum duration. To send your message, press 3 or hang up. To delete your current message, your message has been sent. To access the voice portal, press the star key. To repeat this menu, press the pound key.